What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 20, I want to say 8 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Taurox the Brass Bull campaign. So as we saw last time, a crazy unexpected thing happened. A bunch of armies actually dared to attack Taurox himself. Of course, they failed miserably and his army destroyed all of theirs, but it was still very interesting. I kind of forgot that I guess Carcass Sun is not Run, and they still had armies with, with enough strength to actually fight, unlike Run did, and they did attempt to use them, so all power to them. Now, yeah, the last episode was also a bit of a tease in a way, because I was originally going to send the PESTIGORS in, but then ended up not doing it, but I'm going to do it right now instead, and that's the only thing we're gonna do. Immediately, I'll shut up, let's just go straight to the fight. Alrighty, here we go. Blessed by Nurgle, the chosen PESTIGORS have come to make their debut, and the Nurgle army is complete with those Jabberslights, all those piles of pestilent doggos, and of course, the PESTIGORs themselves. Take a quick look at them, if I can get the camera to stop screwing us over. There we go. Like the shoulder pads and those blades look like something you don't want to get even a tiny paper cut with. Sounds like a bad idea. And while the PESTIGORs are green, they're a little less rotten than I would have imagined them to be. But anyway, let's see how effective they are against this pretty darn big defense of vampires. We're gonna head directly up those walls and through the gates and have a nice contest. So let's just speed it up a little bit as we make our way through that gate, or at least the doggos do. We're going to move the Jabberslights out so that they don't interfere with the doggos, who should be a little bit faster just by virtue of their numbers. And there we go, the towers have made it to the walls, and frankly these towers look quite nice and Nurgle-y as well. I mean, the Beastmen towers in general, I feel like out of all the god picks, the Nurgle seems the most similar to these types of towers. Like I could see a force of Nurgle using these types of towers. Granted, they don't have a crazy amount of growth, but they don't look like the corn towers at all. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. And the PESTIGORs have arrived up on top of the walls. We'll be facing off against some Graveguard here. In fact, probably plenty of Graveguard. A Terrorgeist comes down, as well as some Fellbats. But, well, we have plenty of PESTIGORs to go around. 3 on each side of the wall, and a couple through the gate as well. Fighting some Cairn Wraiths here, though the Cairn Wraiths are getting hit by Devolve to make sure that we damage them, as the PESTIGORs will have, will lack magical damage, with the exception of you, who has the Lichbone Pennant, and thus should be fairly adept at killing off those Cairn Wraiths. Down below the walls, the rampart fighting, we have the 2 Jabberslights working on the enemy. It did take a while to get more of them on the field, but I'm glad that we did, and I do once again feel like they do very well belong in the Nurgle army. Yeah, they're kind of Tzeentchen, with all that aura of madness thing that they have, but at the same time, they have bile blood and provide poison as well. So, you know, it works. It works, damn it. Who am I trying to convince myself, perhaps? Anyway, out here we got Fellbats and Graveguard fighting a single unit of our PESTIGOR, so that could be an interesting matchup for them. We'll see how much damage they will have taken at the end of the battle. Lost 1 so far and killed 45, but I imagine that was by and large the bats so far, rather than the Graveguards, so that'll remain to be seen. Still a fairly nice contest, as these are Greatsword Graveguard. I just wish the camera wasn't so wonky on top of the walls. Hard to get a great angle on it, but oh well. Watch them trade a few blows up here. I do really enjoy watching infantry go up the walls and then fight on said walls, so may as well get some pleasure out of this. And how those Graveguard looking now? Lost about half of their HP, and the Pestigors have lost another unit, so they're down to 98 now. Looking pretty good. Terrorgeist is down below half HP, in fact closing in on 1/3, surrounded as it is by other Pestigors, and the rest of the Graveguard that were helping it out are done for as well. This side of the wall is clear, and now we're moving the Pestigors off of the walls. Doggos, Pestigors, and Jabberslights finally, all working together under the Devolve Rain as well. Though frankly, the Devolve Rain looks quite cinematically nice and kind of thematic for the undead as well. It works either way. Pretty hectic melee going on around the gate and below the ramparts here, but we continue streaming in the rest of our forces into the settlement. The Jabbersites continue to run around, being unable to get locked down by anything up on top of the walls. The piles of Pestigors have surrounded and nearly destroyed the Terrorgeist, who is about to go down, which is reasonably impressive considering we have no hero up here to help the Pestigors out. This is all Pestigors and doing all the work. Very nice. How about the one that was dueling the Graveguard and the bats here? 96 now, but their Graveguard are still only just a little bit below half HP, so these guys are probably going to be whacking away at each other for quite the while. What's our... Oh, okay, so the Pestigors have barely any armor-piercing damage. They have plenty of regular weapon damage, but very, very little armor piercing, which is obviously a problem against the Graveguard with their 95 armor, so this is why it's taking them quite the while to break through them. Well, they can continue in that manner. We may lack armor piercing damage, but what we don't lack is regular damage, and thus all these zombies and skeletons down here should prove no threat. And we should be able to mince them pretty quick. I mean, certainly an argument can be made for using the various Godgors in a single army, using like a front line of Pestigors to hold the enemy down and be resisting, but also since they lack armor piercing, they would need Slamgors and to do armor piercing great weapon strikes. Range support from the Zinchengors, etc., etc., etc. But I think since we have limited time and since we have limited resources, I'd prefer to have at least one type of each god army. At the end of the day, a balanced army is still going to be similar to various other armies we have, just by virtue of, for example, Kazarak's army, and being a nice balanced army. Although it isn't as infantry heavy, but anyway, balance of power is at about 100% in our favor now. Just a few more enemies to knock out as the attrition goes our way, and if nothing else, Nurgle is most definitely a master of attrition. And Jabberslates continue jumping around, just gotta wait for the last of those skellies to crumble and for the battle to end. Very nice. Lots of great cinematic shots and frankly a fantastic debut for the chosen Pestigors. I'm very happy with this one. And the way that we took this particular settlement, not breaking down the walls, just good old-fashioned storming the walls with massive piles of infantry. And the army is very nice and on theme. Alright, one last unit of Graveguard here, but we've beat the Pestigors in terms of speed with our Hounds of Pestilence, so they will be the ones to take care of the rest of these Graveguard. And what, is there another unit? Okay, fine, there's another unit of Crypt Ghouls here, but you know what, they'll probably melt away by the time we get to them. Jabberslythe, bloody swath of destruction through that entire unit of Crypt Ghouls. Plenty knocked down, and plenty just got crushed under the Jabberslythe, and it looks like the rest will get crushed as well, especially with the second Jabberslythe. And yeah, look at the Jabberslythe's skin, also kind of matches all the Nurgle stuff. Alright, looking pretty good, and with that, the battle will really? What is there? Okay, no. Oh, I thought there was another one, but no, we are most definitely good. Let's see how we did in terms of damage, but generally, quite nice. Alrighty, I hope that was worth the wait, cause damn, the Nurgle army can certainly get it, barely taking any damage despite fighting on the walls. Those Pestigors they certainly showed up. I'm very happy with the performance there, especially you. The second last one, 20,000 damage. I like that a lot. Well done, good sir, and interestingly enough, it wasn't one of the ones with the pennants of various kinds. The ones that took the most damage, or the one that took the most damage, was, I believe, the one that dueled the Graveguard one-on-one there, losing 11 units to it, but otherwise destroying the unit. Very happy, Nurgle, very happy, or Nurgle is very happy, and I'm very happy with their army. We're going to loot and raise, our first loot and raise for this army. Alright, very, very nice. And what did the auto-resolve say? I think it was something horrific, I'm sure. But anyway, well done. You are going to go into raiding stance, you're going to take Jordan next, and we should be able to destroy this faction next turn. And they're already dead. And funnily enough, they declared war on us. Why? What was the purpose of that? It really didn't do you any favors. Anyway, what do we have to do this turn? We have no Wargors. They're all Bragors in a way. They bray in their gores, I mean. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong, damn it. Alrighty. Let's end the turn, shall we? I believe we're good. So, low bestial rage on you, you're good with it. Skip buildings, damage buildings, available outpost. And yes, go next turn, and who knows? Maybe someone will attack us again. It's a possibility. Clearly, we've learned that the possibility exists. Well, let's see what we got. Alright, Taurox, Clan Eshin, Clan Scryer. Ooh, would you look at that? Clan Eshin, they're trying to get around us to hit Torbidoos. I wasn't expecting that. Not a bad move. Not a bad move at all. It means nothing to us, but not a bad move. Alright, some of the Chaos factions are ending their trade agreements with us, and aha! Oh, they've stolen one of our chosen Sangors. This is rude. This is tremendously rude, however. A retreat. See if they can still oh, wait. We're beside the garrison right now, meaning if we retreat, we won't be able to make use of the garrison. Alright, we need to rout the chosen Sangors without killing them. Either way, with our Cygors so damaged, this should be a fairly interesting fight. Away we go. Yeah. Alright, this is a do-or-die moment, in fact, for this army, considering how hurt these guys are, and we no longer have the piggies to rely upon, whereas these guys were supposed to originally be our melee line. I really shouldn't have auto-resolved with them. Go. Alrighty, here we go again. We've had some nice Nurgle time, and it's time to follow that up with some Tzeentch and Slaaneshi time. We're only missing Khornate time this episode, and we'd have some experience with every one of the Dark Gods. And it's a lovely little flower-filled battlefield with the Slaaneshi skies overhead. We'll see how the Slaaneshi skies match up against the Tzeentch and arrows. Now, there are a lot of enemies, plenty of demonettes, and basically everything moves really, really fast, so there are things to be concerned about. We also will want to keep the Cygors away at a pretty decent distance so that they can't get surrounded and killed by something. We also want to make sure that we damage and take the chosen Sangors that the enemy seduced from us off the field so that they can run off and so that we can get them back. So we're going to start by focusing them down. 2 of our units of axe-throwing Centaurs move in and chuck their axes at those Sangors, and 2 of our units of our own units of chosen Sangors are going to hit them with arrows. It looks like a couple more hits and these guys will be out of here. They're shaken, and just a little bit more, weird though it may be to be attacking our own chosen Sangors. But in the meantime, the enemy is moving in towards our battle lines. We have summoned a Feral Manticore to help us out against the Chaos Sorcerer of Slaanesh, while the other enemy hero gets sniped by our chosen Sangors here. Couple more volleys to this rate, and with pretty decent accuracy by the looks of it. Man, that's really blinding when those arrows hit, isn't it? Hang on, give me another volley. Alright, that one wasn't as accurate as the others, but that guy's pretty much done. There is still another hero, but frankly, this Chaos Sorcerer, this Chaos Lord of Slaanesh, got pretty badly hurt just fighting the Sangors. Unfortunately, the time for our Manticore runs out, although it looked like it died due to a blow to the enemy. It's just the time running out, as it still had plenty of HP. And either way, we are now going to back off. All those fast movers now on the field, and we don't want our Sangors to get hunted down and bogged down. We're going to activate the Curse of Anra here, right in the middle of this blob of enemy units to... Did I screw it up? No, there it is. Curse of Anra here upgraded and these units to slow them down and hopefully not get overrun by them. It is a minus 31% speed reduction, although it's less than we would like. On the right side, our own reinforcements are on the field as well, a lash of Slaanesh moving through them, but we can simply send all the Gors and Ungors forward and use them to distract the enemy while the Sangors go behind the line and get back to arrowing people in the face. And of course, our Cygors don't need to enter melee now. They can just chuck their stones at whoever they please, whatever big concentration of enemies they find. And on top of that, should they damage a few of our own units, we don't really care about the reinforcing garrisons, so free to chuck those big old stones wherever you want. Alright, arcing over this portion of the battlefield. The battle itself is about only 60% or so in our favor. We're going to try to snipe down this unit of Death Globes because they are a very, very frightening unit and we can't be letting them do what they please. Ah, damn, missed that one, Cygor, but not to worry, we have the better snipers in the chosen Sangors here. Anyway, piles of Slaanesh units fighting some PESTIGORS over on this side, that we will back them up with those chosen Sangors and some throwing axes from our units of Centigors. And a pretty big battle line in this particular battle, but alas, it won't last for too much longer as the enemy army will begin to melt away, most of the demons getting focused down by the magical arrows of the Sangors and unable to run them down because of the additional units blocking them from the garrison. Very nice, and with that, the enemy army will shatter. We did take some damage on a few of our Sangors. This one in particular went down to about 50% HP, and I imagine the one that was stolen from us is pretty hurt as well. I wonder, does it come back to us at full HP, or does it come back to us as hurt as we made it in this particular battle? I guess we're about to find out. A little bit of chasing to do, but we can do it off screen. Ooh, another Totem of Rust, not too bad at all. The armor reduction will come in handy for several armies. I don't know which army in particular we're going to put that on, but I'm happy to use it. Anyway, I'm very happy with that battle. In fact, over the last two episodes, episode 27 and 28, I think, or... is this 28? I don't know. Now, this one and the last one have been so good. We got those massive battle with Taurox last time, and we got the PESTIGORS this time, and this massive fight against the Slaaneshi as the Tzeentch forces, with the Tzeentch forces coming in ahead once again. I'm very, very happy. And relatively minimal damage from our mages, but plenty of damage from everything else. 20 to 36k damage on the Cygors, which did very, very well, and I am very proud of them. A little bit of damage on the various Centigors. The Ungor Raiders didn't do much, but they're Ungor Raiders. You don't expect them to do much. Yeah, very nice. We're gonna heal up because I don't know what's happening here, and we want as much help for our Pestigors as we can manage, but the army is pretty much destroyed. Now, I didn't check. We recovered the Pestigor that we lost, right? I hope we did. We should have, unless it's bugged. We didn't destroy it, it ran off, so we should have recovered it, but let me just check here. Settlement receives plague, enemy killed in battle, ritual available somewhere. Kazrak plague, everybody plague, plague, yo. Yes, we did recover that Pestigor, chosen Sangor rather. It is hurt, but that's fine. We'll immediately ritualize this place, and since we're here, we can protect it. We can immediately build the shamanic challenges and the Winds of Malady. Very, very nice. I am very happy with all of you. Now, you, sir, are going to join the Beast Army. Well, okay, they were all kind of Beast armies, but you're going to join a particular army. And, you know what? To make sure that you heal up, you're actually going to go by foot, Malagor, rather than jumping. I've changed my mind on that matter. And we can't build iron, right? There's a lot of fancy metalwork on a lot of the chosen gores. A little bit odd, perhaps, that they can't use iron at all. And I fear that Grisnekta is going to land a Torbedeuse, but there's not much we can do. How about it? To you, sir. Taurox, kill Gautier. Gautier will run. But how long will he run for? Alright, auto-resolve, this should be... it's gonna damage some of our bulls. No, it didn't. Well then. Thank you for the bestial rage, appreciated. How close are we to the rampage? And it's gonna take a while. Yet, go here to this side of Grouse, and we'll go to Vizaya. Oh, I didn't even realize they have forces here as well. Ugh. Well, whatever. Also, we don't know what Skaven are here, whether it's Scryer or whether it's... not. And we also need to figure out... wait. So Grouse is under the... not quite aegis of Torbedeuse, but you know what I mean, the Blood Ground. Where would we put another one? Here doesn't work. We could do Azwara. It's kind of really overlapping a lot of stuff, though. Odd that neither one of these get either one of these, although it could be bugged in the sense that it might. It's just that we can't see them because of the damn Skaven ruins. I think that's what's happening. So in that light, I'm gonna send you here. Still gonna have to loop around to Athelloran, but we can't leave these guys back here. Auto-resolve this. And raise in advance for further movement. Alright, that's already in the Blood Ground, and that's already in the Blood Ground, so I'm just gonna assume... oh, there's Snitchy Boy. Can we reach him? Oh, we can reach him. Is he worth fighting? He perhaps is, but I think... well, honestly, his army isn't. But I'm kind of interested in seeing Taurox wreck Snitch in combat. Which might mean we fight it, but we'll have to fight it, I think, next time. I think this is probably going to then be a good place to call it. Perhaps a little early, perhaps... normal time? Hard to say. It always depends on how long all the editing takes, but it is what it is, and I think we'll be fine. Either way, I'm going to call it here. More battles to come. We still have the Korngors and the Slangors to get into combat, and both of them are on the approach to Karl, to the destruction of the final destruction of the Empire, and to the beginnings of the destruction of Athelloran. We're hurtling towards the end of the campaign, so we'll have it on field. So well, that doesn't make sense. We'll have the end of the campaign coming real soon, so stay tuned for more battles as we get to it. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.